Oh, sound. There we go. There's sound. There's sound there. Sorry, I had it muted because I was doing something earlier. We got sound now. We've got sound now. I've got a big show for you today. We're going to be giving you some updates on Chelsea Football Club. We're going to be talking Donny van der Beek. Will he start? Will he start for Manchester United tomorrow? Fred, there's no ruling as I've seen yet as to whether or not the Brazilian ban is going to be uplifted. Some newspapers have suggested it could happen. Jurgen Klopp, is he right to slam FIFA? You know, additional fixtures, making it hard for players to get away, especially in countries that are still suffering heavily with this pandemic. I want to hear your views. I want to hear your opinions on this today. Do me a big favor and smash the like button. Vote on our poll. Get voting on the poll right now. Get that done right now, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get it done. A big if. I need to know what you mean by that, Ben, my friend. I don't always get it. I don't always get it. Klopp is angry with our government. It's not what he said in his press conference, though. It wasn't my interpretation. Basically, he said the players wanted to go away and play. We wanted to let them go, but we couldn't. You know, the league didn't sanction the move, and the league didn't sanction the move based on the impact it would have upon the Premier League because of the rules of those countries they were going into and the UK of people returning from those countries. So, look, I think for me, this has always been, Terry tried giving us some lip reading lessons, so I apologize about the beginning of the video. I kind of look at these situations and look at it this way. Everyone's made mistakes here. Bad communication from the Premier League. But then terrible communication from the Premier League. But the childlike response from the from Brazil, as an example, is just embarrassing. Utterly embarrassing. Young says, Klopp is Wenger 2.0, always complaining. Terry, common sense needs to be applied. The Brazilian authorities messed up. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. A big if Donny starts. Donny starts. I hear you on that. But that's what we're going to go into today. That's what we're going to break down and speak about. We're going to open up the lines for you to come on and have your say. Arsenal fans, could tomorrow be the day? Could Mikel Arteta be out? But I want to take your questions today. This Friday afternoon show is very much about ask me anything, is essentially what we're doing on this show. And it's where you get the opportunity in the build up to the Premier League, one-on-one with me, to ask me any questions you want about this weekend, my opinions on things, what I think is going to happen, predictions, my views on anything going on in the game right now. To a degree, no holds barred. So anything you want to ask, get your questions in now. Of course, member chats and super chats will always take the priority as you're donating and you know, keeping this channel going. That's what we want to hear. That's our Friday afternoon show for you, and we'll be moving forward. Anything you want to know, you can ask. How has my day been? Yeah, I mean, my day's been all right. My day's been all right today. I changed my hair. I changed my hair today. Hair's gone. That was part of today. Hair got shaved off, so it was kind of. I'm loving it. I'm actually loving being bald again. I honestly prefer it. So it's been a good day. It's been a good day, no doubt about it. Chelsea preview, bro. We legitimately did our big Football Terrace Top 6 show. You must have seen it. The Chelsea preview is in there. Go check it out now, my friend. That's where the majority of the that's where previews will be if there isn't a massive game like a top 6 clash. So go check that video out. It's on the homepage. I think it's big Cristiano Ronaldo on the front saying Ronaldo's return. So go and check that out. But yes, I'm all good. I'm all good today. Terry, have you just used a sunbed? No, I haven't just used a sunbed. That's a real interesting one. So the answer is no there. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look here at some of the other kind of circulating bits of news. Lukaku being back fit, I think is a real big one. I think is a real big one because it's needed so much. Legitimately needed so much. Because the one thing I'd be worried about this season as a Chelsea fan is where are the goals going to come from if Lukaku is missing? They struggled with it last year. There's no sign yet that anybody is ready to step up and score that extra. They need to score, in my opinion, Chelsea, a minimum of an extra 20 goals this season in the league. That's how it feels. In the league this year, whatever they scored last year, I think we've got to look to increase that by about 20 goals. Who's going to fill that void? Who is going to fill that void? You look at it last season as an example, and Chelsea scored. Let's go and have a look at it. It couldn't have been that high. It really couldn't have been that high as a club. Maybe 20 pushing it a little bit, but they scored 50. Yeah, they were more than 20. They scored 58 goals last year. Man United scored 73, but the winners of the league title, City, with 83. So you are looking at a minimum of 20 league goals are going to be needed additional, in my opinion, by Chelsea this season. Where do they come from if Lukaku misses games? So it's big, big news that he is in. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Very, very good indeed. And look, I actually see Chelsea only losing 2 or 3 games this year maximum as well. And that's why, as long as they've got him putting those goals in, and Lukaku could... There's an interesting thought process that goes around with fans. A lot of football fans say things like, and it's bad football education. I actually saw a Liverpool fan say it to me actually a few weeks ago, and he said, Lukaku isn't going to win, isn't going to score an additional 20 goals for Chelsea that they didn't score last year. He'll take 3 from him and 5 from him and 6 from him, and they won't actually score more goals, which I think is a madness. I mean, mathematically, Chelsea could easily hit 80, 85 goals this season with Lukaku in their team, which is a gargantuan improvement. The only way those goals don't accumulate additional points is if he's getting the 3rd and 4th goals of games that are already winning. But Lukaku is probably going to add something like 5 or 6 match-winning goals into this in the Premier League. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets at least 5 or 6 match-winning goals this season, where his goal would the winner. Not he got the second of a 2-0 victory. I'm talking the decisive goal. He can also get very important open goals and things as well. He is going to be exceedingly pivotal this season. You had an extra 20 goals to Chelsea's campaign last year, and easily, in my opinion, they would have picked up an extra 10 points. An extra 10 points, yes, there'd still be 9 points away from City, but it would have been more of a title race. It could have picked them up even more than that, if we're being absolutely honest. It could have picked them up 12 points, 15 points, and then they were in the title race last year. So very, very important and great news today that he is back in the team. Terry, which club is most likely to fail this season due to complacency? That's really hard. I would probably say Man United, because unlike City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, we don't have, as a unit, a pedigree of winning major trophies in the last 8 years, getting towards 9. And yes, you've got Cavani and you've got Varane and you've got Ronaldo, who are serial winners. The jury's out whether they can help make the rest of their team serial winners. We already know that Chelsea can win, City can win, Liverpool can win, and this core group's already done that. So I would say, if we're talking top 4 teams, the teams that are predicted to finish in the top 4, Man United are the most likely to fail on consistency, but that doesn't make it a foregone conclusion. I've got to base it on something factual, and that's the only thing I can base it on, really. Kai Havertz is unavailable tomorrow because Timo stole you. So, right, okay. I thought I was serious for a minute there. Remember to get those questions into us, people. Chelsea won't win the league. Sorry, I thought I said won't win the league. They may not. They've got a great chance of winning it, though, especially with goals coming from someone like Lukaku. There's no doubt about it. But I want to hear your thoughts on the Liverpool situation. My view's this. I kind of get why Jurgen Klopp is frustrated. 110%. I get it. But this is because he's angry, because I think the way Brazil, the way the FA, the way FIFA have behaved, when I say Brazil, I mean the FA, not the whole country. It's wrong. It's poor. However, if Liverpool behave correctly in the transfer market, I don't see this being as big an issue. I believe a lot of Jurgen Klopp's frustrations stem from him knowing that his squad is going to struggle to cope. And this season's interesting because I'm saying this now to all fans. I'm saying this now to all fans of all of the teams that we predicted being in the title race. Every point matters. I honestly feel that we could be in a situation by the end of this campaign where 5 points could separate the top 4. And when you actually move into the sort of realms and discussions of teams being separated by such a minute amount of points, it will and has always, and we can always continue to create a situation whereby anger stems through managers quickly, frustrations boil over. You will see a lot of games this season, if things remain that tight, where players are fights on the pitch and people tempers boiling over because emotions are going to run high. And often early on in the season, we talk about dropping points isn't so crazy, but I think you can't afford to drop too many, especially when you're going up against teams that you should be beating. If you're Liverpool, when you're playing Man United, Chelsea, Everton, City, Tottenham, maybe Leicester, though outside of those games, every one of the title contenders should be seen as the winners that weekend. There shouldn't even be a debate about it. So when you suddenly miss 2 or 3 players and you've got a weak squad, you're worrying you're going to drop points in a coupon buster, in a gimme. And I think that's what's going on here with Jurgen Klopp. David here says, Tuchel annoyed by the situation, but he's like, we can deal with it. And everybody's annoyed about it. Probably Ollie's probably annoyed that he can't play Fred, and we'll get onto that in a minute. But it is what it is. But Chelsea can cope. Chelsea can cope. Liverpool can cope. Or they should be able to cope. They have the resource to do it, but didn't buy anyone. And it may only end up being one game. It may only end up being one game. But imagine they lose this game. Gets to the end of the season. 1 point of winning the league, or they fall out of the top 4 by a point. Like, everything's going to be so close this year. Every game matters massively. Matters massively. Terry, in your opinion, why do Arsenal fans hype Tomiyasu? This guy is heavily criticized by the Italian press as a centre-back, and no, he's not a right-back. What I've seen of him is he looks really talented. I don't think Tomiyasu is going to have an issue with the technical element of the UK game. It's going to be the pace. It's going to be the speed, the pace, the strength, the power. That is what the athleticism needed to cope here is going to be key. Let's see how it works out for him. I think he's actually one of the. There's 2 signings they made this year. The irony, the 2 signings that get the least amount of criticism are their worst signings. That's the crazy thing with Arsenal. Tavares and Lokonga and Ben White are going to be stars in the future. Stars in the future. Well, whether that's at Arsenal or not, I don't know, but they're going to be stars. They're brilliant signings. However, Tomiyasu, I think, is a really good signing for the price. Spurs wanted him as well, and they've been praised. Peditici is looked at as knowing what he's doing, and he wanted him. Just couldn't get the price right. The 2 that don't get criticised are Odegaard and Ramsdale, who were just nowhere near the quality needed. Nowhere near the quality needed. And they don't, in my opinion, don't have the upside the others do. It's an absolute madness that the signings that are getting the most criticism are the better ones. It's mad. Absolutely mad. PR, I suppose. Marketing, sales teams and all that. Scott Carson versus Leicester City. Thanks, Brazilian FA. Of course, Man City are the best team in the world with the super chat there. Thank you for that donation to the Terrace. It means a great deal to us. Remember, tonight at 9 p.m., we've got the final ranking and tiering show of the international break tonight. We wanted to end on it because we've really enjoyed them this week. We're not doing a legacy debate tonight. We are debating And I'm so excited about this evening. Legitimately, probably more excited about this than any of the other debates so far this week, because I'm going in. But tonight I think we're going live about 8:30 this evening. We are ranking the EPL's wingers or inside forwards. We're literally ranking the lot. It's going to be a big, gargantuan debate show. Make sure you are tuning in tonight. Make sure you are tuning in tonight. 8:30. The link's already up on the channel. Make sure you go and bookmark it and get yourselves involved. It's going to be a big show. I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited indeed. Right. Let's talk. I want to talk a bit of Donny. I want to speak a bit of Donny, not Donny James Donny, as in Doncaster. I want to speak a little bit about. Someone says, Terry, why is Cho there? He's an inside forward, stroke winger. He has to be judged like everybody else. Why would I leave Cho out? Why would I leave Cho out? But yeah, look, from my side of view is this with Donny van der Beek. If Fred is not available, he has to start tomorrow. Has to start, in my opinion. It would be a perfect opportunity. Not an overtly hard game. Newcastle United are going to cause Manchester United no problems tomorrow. Walk in the park. Simplistic. Simplistic. Play Donny van der Beek. Give Donny van der Beek an opportunity in that midfield, in the 6 role. You know, Phil de Brown picked it up today with Ollie during the press conference and said, do you think you can play at 6? Ollie said, yes. Give him a chance, Ollie. Give him a chance. Give him an opportunity to go out there and play. We need to start getting answers to these debates and not leaving everything up to hypothesis and theory. And, you know, like a gal the other day, if we sign Suarez, we'd have won the Champions League. No one knows. I don't want there to be question marks over whether or not Donny was or was not good enough. I just want to know the answers. How are we going to get the answers? By watching him play. So I hope that he gets an opportunity. I legitimately hope that he gets an opportunity to have his say and to do what it is that he wants to do and all that jazz. I really, really do. Sahi says, Terry, maybe expand more shows for Terrace members. Have their own show like Midnight Vibes, but they can choose their show concepts. We are going to be adding that in now that the season is back. So I'm going to be in the studio in London a lot more moving forward, doing shows, adding more guests in over a period of time. We are going to be adding in, now the season's begun, the member-only stream that's going to be once a month for, I think, our first team members and above. And our match reaction shows will be member-only chats from around 30 minutes in. And a number of our shows, we will go into that format and concept as well. So we're going to be giving members a lot more privileges in relation to that. So well done for shouting it out and calling it out, my friend. Thank you here, Mr. Barnrun, for becoming an official member. Also, the scarves as well. We found a company that are now going to make the scarves. We went to somebody else. They wanted us to order 4,000 units before we'd even begun. And I'm like, yeah, I can't afford 4,000 units. They're like 4,000 scarves. We've only got something like 130 members that are eligible, I think, by the end of next month for the scarves. I was like, I'm not ordering 4,000. I've had to find a company that can make them on a smaller scale for us. So they're going to be ready in the next 4 to 5 weeks for first team members and legends and super fans. And the shirts have been ordered for the competition winners. August competition winner is going to be announced tonight. So my accounts, the finance team today ordered those shirts and had them sent out. They did send me an email and inform me of that. So Maria Williams and Mark, your shirts are on the way. CR71. Okay, that's not a question. Get your questions into me, though, please, ladies and gentlemen. Get that done right about now. The Devil's Advocate says, do you reckon FIFA will fold on this rule? I don't see it personally. I don't know if FIFA have the power to just exempt this rule. I think it would need to be Brazil to withdraw it, because Richarlison's allowed to play based on reportedly the Brazilian FA and Everton Football Club having a good relationship. I don't quite know how that works. So it's more about the Brazilian FA doing something. I think I'm really, look, as a Man United fan, there's a part of me that really wants and to go ahead, because it's going to weaken some of my rivals. But there we go. There was an article I was reading earlier in the Daily Mail, and the headline was, Premier League clubs agree they will defy FIFA and play their banned stars this weekend after Brazil refused to back down. He said the Premier League clubs have reportedly agreed to play their banned players. Now, nobody mentioned that in their conferences today. They've all kind of said they don't know what's happening. So this is only a report that the Premier League clubs are going to do that. It's going to be very intriguing from my point of view to see what actually happens in these moments. I'm very, very intrigued indeed. Can't wait to see your face when when Newcastle smash Man U. All right, bro. Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Ijaro, for upgrading your membership to a first team members package. It means a great deal to me. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Terry, Klopp and Pep are hinting that they're going to play their Brazilian players, and they might. They might play them. They might play them. No one knows whether they're going to or not. My view is what can the Brazilian FA do though? Like, what's really going to happen if they play these individuals? Don't know. Imagine they issue the if they issue the players with they go to FIFA and they want to issue worldwide bans for the season. I don't know. They wouldn't do that. Who knows what they're going to do? They've already acted like babies. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, the Brazilian FA are acting like a jealous ex-partner. That's how they're behaving right now. Let's get your questions in, though, people. I do want to hear from you. I don't know what your questions are ahead of this weekend. Smash the like button if you want a free scarf. There we go. There we go. By the way, Friday night on the terrace, we'll be back next week. So the reason that there was a bereavement in the family of one of our sort of main producers on the show this week, so we didn't have the time to get in the studio and rehearse. We want to get it all right before we come back. But as I say, I'm going to be in the studio more regularly from next week, doing more general streams. We're going to be building out the match reactions to start being done in there soon as well. So yeah, lots in the pipeline. Lots are going to change over the coming weeks on the terrace, but still the same face-to-face dedicated content for you all. What we need more though these days from you guys is them like buttons being smashed. With nearly 1,000 people watching, we've got to be hitting a 50% ratio. Whatever you see as the live number, we've got to be smashing that like button. We've got to get that done, my peeps. Terry, what are your thoughts on the fine given to Chelsea? Was it deserved? It's standard, stereotypical when players surround refs in that way for a fine to come out. Was it 25 grand? It's a pittance. It's a pittance to Roman. Roman Abramovich probably could find that down the back of his sofa. So it is what it is. It is what it is, really. One of my members here says Villa are going to beat Chelsea 2-0. Can you imagine? I do think there's going to be some shocks tomorrow. Although the coupon we put together, the ACCA with Bet Victor very much made it look like that wasn't. Like, I think there's going to be some real, not issues, but I see a few little curveballs tomorrow. I do. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Get your questions in, but United are bigger than you. Of course, United are bigger than Juventus. Much bigger than Juventus. Much bigger. Where are the questions? What's my front line for the Newcastle game? Great question. Great question. It's hard, you know, because we're going to play 4-2-3-1. The 10's Bruno. Nah, I'd go for... No, I can't go 4-3-3 either. Because I want Donny to play. Donny and Pogba in the middle. I don't care about not having a DM. I think we're good enough without one against Newcastle. Sancho left. Greenwood right. Viva Ronaldo through the middle. That's what I would start with. I do get a feeling that Ronaldo might start on the bench after listening to the press conference today. But yeah, you've got to start our best two inside forwards this season, Greenwood and Sancho. Martial shouldn't be in the starting lineup. He hasn't done anything yet. Doesn't deserve it. I want Sancho to get more game time for him. That's what I'd go with. Oh, Bruno and Ronaldo. Oh, jeez. It's going to be a thing of beauty. We're going to smash them tomorrow. 4 goals, bare minimum. 4 goals, bare minimum. 100%. 100%. 100%. Sancho isn't fully fit, according to Ollie. Well, if he isn't fully fit, then Matic in the middle and move Pogba to the left. I wouldn't start Anthony Martial. I would not start him for this game. Bring him on from the bench if required. Man like the devil's advocate here says, I think Ronnie will start. That's just Ollie's way of saying you don't know who is going to choose, even though the whole world expects him to start. Yeah, I hope he does. I remember his first debut. I remember that game so well. I remember being in the stand and I watched him came on, and the interesting thing was his debut was so good. He kind of regressed a little bit after that for a period, but he came on, and it's one of the things that set my standards for young players always. That when I see a young player, if I don't see 2 or 3 moments or periods in games where you think oh, there's a talent there, I almost switch off from that player instantly. And I had that when Chong started playing for Man United. Every game he played in, I was like, when's he going to do something? I mean, not even like just something good. Bland, Darren Gibson, do something good. Barring his big shot, nothing else about his play was good. Even Kiko Makeda is probably the only one who hoodwinked me because of what he did in his first game. But then every other match after that, man did nothing. It didn't even look like he was ever going to do anything. I remember standing in the stands for him as well, like, is he going to have a good touch, maybe? One good pass, one good bit of hold-up play? Pony. John Terry or Frank Lampard are going to be the next Arsenal manager this season. Can you imagine? It's not happening, but can you imagine? Let's have a look here. What else is being said? Ian Lee says, if Ronaldo starts tomorrow, how do you think Ollie will cope with the pressure of having to perform? I think fine. I think fine tomorrow. United will do very, very well tomorrow indeed. We'll love it more. We'll love it much, much more. So yeah, it'll be brilliant. The reason I don't know why I said love it much more. I read a comment from someone that said, what did they say? I love the home studio more. And then I said, it said love it more. But United will be fine tomorrow. We're going to smash them. It'll be a good performance. Ronaldo's going to elevate the team. You've got to remember, so far, we haven't integrated Varane yet or Sancho. Ronaldo's coming back. It's going to take a little bit of time for those 3 to settle. But once they gel into the system, I think we're going to purr. I think we're going to purr. And people are sleeping on Cristiano. I've got something dropping tomorrow morning for you guys to watch. People are sleeping on Cristiano Ronaldo's play. His overall play in the team is very good. Just nobody watches him for it. And then people don't watch Ronaldo play, and then they just come out with this weird, like, doesn't do anything in games. Like he still averages for the last 5. He still averages over 5 dribbles per game with a high completion rate, crossing accuracy of 30+%, through balls and hold up play every game. Brilliant. The inside forwards making runs, diagonals on the inside or cutting towards the outside when Ronaldo's holding the ball up, or Bruno running through the center. That there's so many things that he's going to add to this team's dynamics. You've just got to study Cristiano Ronaldo for a bit and watch for what else he does. And anyone that tells you he does nothing else, they're liars. They're liars. They're lying to you. It's crazy. Really is crazy. Ronaldo is like Giggs, goes on for ages and adapts his game. Absolutely. You know, Ryan Giggs is funny because most people that slag Giggs off will openly admit they didn't watch him play between 92 and 2002. 92 and 2002. You know, where he had the first 10 years of his. You got to remember, like, when we think about like legends in the Prem, Giggs had already had pretty much a decade of game time before the likes of Lampard and Gerrard had even really started kicking a ball. Like almost a decade of game time prior to them coming in. And in that time, had won like 6 Prems, FA Cups, Champions Leagues, right? And people always like to remove that from Giggs' legacy when it comes to how good he was. Ronaldo has that same issue. People forget what Ronaldo was from 2003 until sort of 2012, 2013, that 10-year period. They forget what he was then, and they focus on what he's been for the last 7, 8 years as he had learned to adapt his game, and he adapted it early because he knew he couldn't carry on playing the way he was and still maintain his brilliance at a certain age. And the adaptation going from being a marauding winger into an amazing inside forward on the right, adapting your game to be able to be an inverted inside forward on the left, into becoming an all-round attacker, and then moving and developing into a class goal-scoring forward, and then elevating your game into a more of a goal-poaching, hold-up play number 9, more like a target man. To have adapted your position on a number of occasions over 3 or 4 times now, over nearly a 20-year career, and in that time still hold over 145 different individual player records. To have 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, multiple league titles, multiple FA Cup, Copa del Reys. To have all those things and to be questioned in any way is mad. It's mad. And we even heard this week on the terrace. I'm sorry, Jess and Daniel, but I'm calling you out here. GOATs are about emotiveness. It's about emotion. It's about how they make you feel. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo, what behaviors are evoked from emotion? Purchases, follows, subscriptions. It's a motive. We follow and buy into people and companies that we like, that we love, that we enjoy, that we feel something for. Movie franchises, etc. If it's based on emotion, how someone makes you feel, how many people you inspire. And I took that on board what they said about Thierry Henry. That's why he's the GOAT, because he inspired a generation. Ronaldo has more followers, more subscribers, more supporters, and outsells commercially Lionel Messi, and always has, even when they were at clubs on equal peggings, which means more people buy into Ronaldo, which means he's affected more lives, which means there's a larger emotional connection that's based on Jess and Daniel's logic, makes him the GOAT of football. Has to be, right? Because that's what we go with. It's got all the personal awards. They mentioned last night all the records. It's got all the trophies. So his trophies, his records, and his individual awards are pretty much neck and neck everywhere with Messi. But then you go down to the emotive element. If I'm loved by 100 people and you're loved by 500 people, more people love you. And if more people love you, the emotional argument then trumps through. Like, I love it. I want to see I do want to see how they move the goalpost now. Yes, you, Daniel. Yes, you, Jet. I want to see what you do to move the goalpost now. There'll be something else. I tweeted it today and everyone's going, no, you can't base it on shirt sales. Why not? That's emotiveness. Sales are driven by emotion in every which way. Some sales, like water, a necessity, but the majority of sales for things like football shirts, trainers, music albums, they're emotively driven. You are wrong. It's Ronaldinho by that logic. Ronaldinho never sold as many shirts or had as many followers as Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is the leader in that. There we go. Varane not in the squad for the not in the Premier League squad. Is he not? Is that just been announced now? I didn't know that was the case. I mean, how do we know that? Where's that been reported, my bro? I'd love to know where that's been reported. I haven't seen that anywhere myself, but let me know. Let me know. I literally haven't seen anyone else say that. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I've seen Phil Jones included in the 25-man squad, submitted to the Premier League. No, he has to be in it. Hang on. It must be a typo. There's no way he's not included. Hang on, where's he at? Yeah, why is Rafael Varane is not on the list? It has to be a typo. It has to be a typo. It has to be a typo. What number did we give him? Was it 12? What number did he get? This is number order. It's a typo. Has to be a typo. We have a super chat here that says, hey, Terry, Van Nistelrooy left because Ronaldo took too long to cross the ball. Now his all-round play is world class. Yeah, he was a kid that wasn't quite why he left. But yeah, like they fell out over that. Most definitely, brother. They most definitely fell out over that. What number did he get? No, 19. Yeah, it's a typo. It's a typo, peeps. Because they've said it's the 25-man squad. How many names are on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. I'm now counting people with asterisk stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't get it. There's loads, more than 25 on that. 21, 22, 23. There's only 24 names on there that don't have stars next to them. Yeah, it's just a typo. It's a typo. It's a typo. Someone says it isn't a typo. So we've bought him and we haven't submitted him for our squad. Really? I don't believe that. Really? Has to be a mistake. Has to be a mistake. It is. If he was out injured, they'd have said something. Oh, anyway, I'm not tempting fate now, but it's a mistake. It's a mistake. That's all it is. Do me a favor and smash that like button, people. Get your questions in as well. We're going into the home stretch of the show here. Yeah, it's definitely a typo. They just missed it out. They just missed it out. They just missed it out. Yeah, I know he's not on the official page. That's why I think it's a typo. That's why I think it's a typo. To a point where, like, none of the journalists that have shared it have mentioned that he's missing. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, wow. I've been sent something. I got to share it. 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 Hey, Donny.
How pathetic is that? How easy is that? How easy?
Go on, Donny James. Go on, Donny James. Someone just sent me that in a DM. I think we've got to make some memes of it. I think we've got to meme this up. I think we've got to meme it up, you know. I'm going to retweet it as well. I don't even know why I'm laughing so much. Honestly, that made me laugh. There's two here. There's another one. It's the same one.
How pathetic is that? How pathetic is that?
It's this one here.
How?
That's the one. That's the one. Oh, I missed doing fan channel review. Should I bring fan channel review back? I missed that show, bro. That is the best around. Look at that. I'm actually going to save that and make it my profile picture. That is amazing. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The goated show. Yeah, maybe I will bring it back. Maybe I feel like that's a show that I want to bring back into the studio though and have someone else there doing it with me. I used to love doing it years ago with Adam Charles. Well, that was another one of the shows that I started, and then I saw 5 other channels start doing the same thing. It used to really frustrate the living daylights out of me. Just like another few shows of mine that have been completely ripped off. Do you know what it is? I don't actually mind people doing an adaptation of my stuff because I do the same thing. I'd be a hypocrite. It's when you start getting accused of copying people that did it after you, and then the content creators say nothing. That's where I get frustrated. That's the one for me. It's like, if I start doing something another YouTuber done and you were all in the, like, you went to that YouTube, I don't know what it would be, and you guys start messaging that YouTuber and you're like, oh, you scumbag, you're doing the same as Terry Flewers. I'd come straight out and say, leave him alone. Like, he was doing that kind of thing first. Goated, leave him. But yeah, that doesn't always happen the other way around. But there we go. Oh, Donny. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Anyway, get your comments in, people. We're nearly at the end of the show now today. Make sure that like button has been smashed as well. Really important to the channel that you do that. Yeah, it's definitely a typo. I counted 24 players. That's all it is, yeah. Terry, can I have the link to defend Son tonight? Maybe. Remember tonight, people, 9 p.m. We are ranking Premier League inside forwards and wingers. So make sure you're tuning in for that. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. I can't wait to do it. Can't wait for that show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. But listen, everyone that's tuned in today, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. Back at around, I think 8:30 we're going live tonight. About 8:30 we're going live. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.